Why do the most beautiful houses often collapse from the inside? We spend our lives decorating the exterior. We paint the walls with smiles. We hang the lights of success on the porch. And we make sure the garden of our social life looks lush and inviting to every passerby. From the outside, it looks like a sanctuary. It looks invincible. But then, a storm comes. Not a massive hurricane, but a persistent, cold rain. And suddenly, the roof leaks. The floorboards groan. The walls begin to crack. The tragedy is not that the storm was too strong. The tragedy is that we invited too many rain strangers into our private bedrooms, while we left our most precious foundational pillars standing outside in the freezing fog. This video is not just a guide to categorizing your friends. It is the master key to protecting the architecture of your soul forever. To save your home, you must first understand who is actually inside it. Think about the people who only appear when the clouds turn grey and the first drops of a struggle begin to fall. They knock on your door with a polite smile, asking for a seat by your fire. They use your warmth. They consume your emotional energy, and they take shelter under the roof you worked so hard to build. These are the rain strangers. In the original wisdom, they were called leaf people. But in the architecture of the soul, they are those who seek a temporary port in a storm. Their presence is defined by convenience, not commitment. They are attracted to your shelter. Perhaps it's your kindness, your resources, or simply your inability to say no. The mistake we make is mistaking their presence for loyalty. We see them sitting in our living room and we think, they are here for me. But they aren't. They are there for the roof. The moment the clouds part and the sun shines on a different street, they vanish without a goodbye. They don't leave because they hate you. They leave because their need for you has expired. Do not be angry at the rain stranger. Their purpose in your life is to teach you a vital lesson. Presence does not equal permanence. Just because someone is in your house doesn't mean they belong in your history. Then there is the second group. These people are more pleasant than the strangers. They stay longer. They are like the expensive furniture, the beautiful paintings, and the crystal chandeliers of your life. These are the decor people. They love the idea of you. They enjoy the parties you throw, the status you provide, or the version of you that is perfect. They are the friends who stay through the calm seasons and the mild breezes. Because they have been in your house for years, you start to believe they are part of the structure. You trust them with your secrets. You lean on them when you are tired. But decor people have a breaking point. They are built for aesthetics, not for agony. When a real earthquake hits, when you lose your job, when your health fails, or when your spirit breaks, the decor people are the first things to shatter. They cannot hold up a falling ceiling. In fact, when things get heavy, they often become a liability, adding more weight to your shoulders as you try to clean up the mess. They leave suddenly because they were never attached to your foundation. They were only attached to your look. Wisdom lies in knowing that you cannot lean on a painting to keep a house from falling. Appreciate the beauty they brought to your good days, but never expect a chandelier to do the work of a beam. Finally, there is the third type, the rarest and most precious. These are the pillars and the foundation. You rarely see the foundation. It isn't flashy. It doesn't ask for praise or sit in the spotlight of the foyer. It exists in the dark, quiet places of your life. These are the people who saw you when you were just a blueprint, unfinished, dusty, and full of potential flaws. And they decided to stay while the rain strangers ran for the sun and the decor shattered into pieces. The pillars stood still. They don't stay because you are beautiful or successful. They stay because they are bound to the very soil of your existence. A pillar is the friend who defends your name when you aren't in the room. They are the family member who holds the flashlight when your world goes dark. They don't just watch you suffer. They put their shoulder under your burden and say, "We will carry this until the ground stops shaking." The collapse of the soul happens when we get the keys mixed up. We give the master key of our bedroom to a stranger we met yesterday, but we make our pillars wait on the porch, taking them for granted because they'll always be there. You must become the architect of your own boundaries. Establishing a boundary is not about building a wall to shut the world out. It is about installing a door so you can choose who enters. It is the realization that your inner sanctum is a sacred space. Not everyone deserves to see your mess. Not everyone is strong enough to handle your truth. We often give our best tea and our kindest words to the strangers who will forget us by tomorrow, while we give our leftover energy and our harshest moods to the pillars who hold us up. Flip the script. Be polite to the guests. Be grateful for the decor. But pour your life, your loyalty, and your love into the foundation. Because in the end, when the storms of life have taken the paint from the walls and the furniture has been swept away, it is only the pillars that will determine if you are still standing. Protect your house. Protect your soul. And most importantly, know who truly holds you up. The arrival in the storm. Imagine a day when the sky turns a bruised shade of purple and the clouds begin to weep. The wind howls around the corners of your life, and the rain starts to beat against the windows of your soul. In these moments of vulnerability, when the weather of your life is at its worst, a knock comes at the door. You open it to find someone shivering, looking for warmth, looking for a place to hide from the cold. Naturally, because you have a kind heart, you open the door wide. You offer them a seat by your fireplace. You give them the blanket of your emotional support, the hot tea of your time, and the shelter of your wisdom. They smile at you. They thank you. For a moment, it feels like a genuine connection. It feels like the start of a friendship that will last through every season. But then, the miracle of nature happens. The storm breaks. The thunder fades into a distant echo. The clouds part, and a brilliant golden sun begins to warm the earth again. You turn around to share the beauty of the rainbow with your guest, only to find an empty chair. The door is slightly ajar, the blanket is folded or perhaps tossed aside, and the person is gone. No thank you, no goodbye, and no promise to return. They have vanished as quickly as the storm that brought them, defining the rain stranger. In the old wisdom, these people were likened to leaves on a tree, seasonal and fragile. But in the architecture of your life, they are the rain strangers. The defining characteristic of a rain stranger is convenience. They do not seek you, they seek your roof. They are attracted to the shelter you have built. Whether that shelter is your professional success, your infectious positive energy, your financial stability, or your willingness to listen when no one else will. To them, you are not a person to be loved. You are a destination to be used. They stay as long as the benefits are available and the rent is free. They enjoy the comfort of your company, while their own world is in chaos. But they have no intention of helping you maintain the house once the leaks are fixed. Their loyalty is to their own comfort, not to your connection. The psychology of convenience. Why do we find this so painful? It is because we often project our own depth onto people who are shallow. When we see someone in need, we give them our master key, access to our deepest thoughts and our most private rooms. We assume that because we helped them in their winter, they will stay to celebrate our summer. But the rain stranger operates on a different frequency. They are utility-based friends. They appear when you have a surplus of what they lack. If you are a healer, they appear when they are wounded. If you are a leader, they appear when they are lost. But once they are healed, once they find their way, your shelter becomes a prison to them. They crave the horizon, not the hearth. The lesson of the open door. It is easy to become bitter after a rain stranger leaves. You might feel used, foolish, or cynical. You might want to nail your door shut and never let anyone in again. But that would be a mistake. To close your door forever is to turn your home into a tomb. Instead, the rain stranger is sent to teach you the most important lesson in the architecture of connection: the difference between a guest and a resident. Their mission in your life was to show you that not everyone who knocks is meant to stay. They are mirrors reflecting your own capacity for kindness, but also your lack of boundaries. They teach you that your hospitality, your love, and your energy is a limited resource. If you spend all your firewood keeping strangers warm, you'll have nothing left to heat the house for the pillars who actually hold the roof up. Healing without hate. Do not hate the rain strangers. To hate them is to allow them to keep living in your house rent-free, even after they have left. Understand that they are simply people with limited capacity. Just as a leaf cannot become a root, a rain stranger cannot become a pillar. They were never built to handle the weight of a real relationship. Bless them for the time they spent by your fire. Be grateful for the silence they left behind. For in that silence, you can finally hear the voices of the people who actually matter. Learn to recognize the smell of the rain in their conversation early on. Enjoy the moment. Share the warmth. But keep your master key in your pocket, because in the end, a beautiful house is not measured by how many people crowded inside during the storm, but by the strength of the foundation that remains once the sun comes out. The beauty of the living room. Once the rain strangers have departed and the sky has cleared, you look around your home and see the things that remain. These are the people who didn't run at the first sign of a cloud. They have been with you through several seasons. They sit in your living room, they share your dinners, and they occupy a significant space in your daily life. In our new architecture of the soul, these are the decor people. They are the fine furniture and the splendid ornaments of your social circle. They make your life look successful, vibrant, and complete. Perhaps they are the friends you go to parties with, the colleagues who laugh at all your jokes, or the partners who look perfect beside you in photographs. You feel a deep sense of pride when you are with them. They add value to your home's aesthetic. Because they have stayed longer than the transient guests, you begin to make a dangerous assumption. You assume that because they are present, they are permanent. The nature of conditional connections. The decor people are different from the strangers because they are invested in the status quo of your life. They love the version of you that is functional, prosperous, and emotionally stable. They are the connections based on mutuality of benefit. As long as the house of your life is standing straight and the lights are on, they are the perfect companions. They provide comfort, they provide conversation, they provide the illusion of a support system. But you must understand the physics of furniture. Decor is designed to sit on the floor, not to hold up the walls. These relationships are conditional. The condition is that you must remain intact. They love your exterior, your humor, your status, your strength. But they have no interest in your basement, your trauma, your failures, or your deepest fears. They are there for the show, not for the soul. The moment of the earthquake. Life, however, is not a static photograph. Eventually, the ground will shake. An earthquake comes in many forms. A sudden bereavement, a financial collapse, a crisis of identity, or a deep depression. This is the moment of truth for the architecture of your connections. When the foundation of your life begins to tremble, and the walls of your confidence start to crack, look closely at the decor people. Because they were never bolted to your foundation, they are the very first things to move. At first, they might rattle and shake, offering thoughts and prayers, or superficial advice. But as the tremors grow violent, their true nature is revealed. Since they are not structural, they cannot help you hold up the ceiling. Instead, they do one of two things. They either break or they become a burden, from ornament to obstacle. There is a specific kind of pain that comes when a furniture friend breaks. Because you leaned on them for stability, their collapse causes you to fall even harder. You thought they were a pillar, but they were just a hollow cabinet. Even worse is when they become a burden. In the middle of your crisis, you find yourself having to comfort them because they are so distressed by your tragedy. You are struggling to keep your roof from falling. Yet you are wasting your last bit of energy trying to stop your decor from sliding out the door. When the ceiling of your life starts to come down, the decor people realize that staying inside your house is now a threat to their safety. They don't want to get dusty. They don't want to get hurt. So they quietly, or sometimes loudly, remove themselves. They vanish not because they are evil, but because they simply do not possess the structural integrity to survive a disaster that isn't theirs. The lesson: aesthetics versus athletics. The decor people teach you the difference between aesthetics and athletics. Some people are in your life to make it look good, aesthetics, while others are there to help you run the race, athletics. You do not have to throw away all your furniture. It is okay to have decor people in your life. It is pleasant to have friends for the sunny days and companions for the theatre of life. The wisdom lies in never confusing a chair for a column. Do not lean your entire emotional weight on someone who was only designed to be a decoration. Do not expect someone who loves your success to be able to handle your sacrifice. When you stop expecting structural support from decorative people, you stop being disappointed when the earthquake happens. The clearing of the room. When the earthquake finally stops, you'll look around your room. Much of the beautiful furniture will be gone or shattered. The room will look empty, and at first that emptiness will feel like a failure. But look closer. Now that the decor has been cleared away, you can finally see the pillars. You can finally see the walls and the floor for what they truly are. The departure of the conditional people is a gift of clarity. It creates the space necessary for you to reinforce your foundation and to find the people who don't just sit in your house, but actually help you keep it standing. The hidden reality. In the architecture of any great structure, there is a paradox. The most important part of the building is the part that no one ever sees. People walk through the grand hallways. They admire the marble tiles and they compliment the view from the balcony. But no one ever walks into a house and says, "What a beautiful foundation." The foundation exists in the dark. It is buried deep beneath the surface, pressed under the weight of the entire structure, silent and invisible. In the landscape of your relationships, these are the foundation people. They are the rarest human beings you will ever encounter. They are the ones who do not require a stage. They do not sit in your living room to be admired by your guests, nor do they seek the front porch of your life to claim credit for your success. While the rain strangers come for shelter and the decor people come for the show, the foundation people are already there, long before the walls are even built. The strength of the invisible foundation. People are defined by permanence. Unlike the rain strangers who operate on convenience, or the decor people who operate on conditions, the foundation operates on conviction. They are with you during the excavation phase of your life, when you are nothing but a hole in the ground, when you are messy, raw, and have nothing to offer but a dream. They saw the blueprint of who you were meant to be before the world saw the finished product. Because they were there when you were empty, they are not intimidated by your fullness. nor are they frightened by your collapse. Their support is not transactional. They don't stay because you are rich, famous, or perfect. In fact, they are often the most active when you are at your least likable. When you are angry, bitter, or grieving, when the decor has been put away because the house is too messy, the foundation remains. They don't need you to be on. They just need you to be you. The physics of the storm. The true value of a foundation person is only revealed during the great earthquake. Imagine the moment of total crisis. The rain strangers have long since fled to a sunnier neighborhood. The decor people have shattered, their conditional love unable to survive the pressure of your reality. You look around, and for the first time in your life, the house is quiet. The music has stopped. The lights have flickered out. This is where the magic happens. In the terrifying silence of your tragedy, you feel a strange stability. Even though the roof is leaking and the walls are cracked, you realize that you are still standing. You haven't fallen. Why? Because deep beneath the surface, the foundation has tightened its grip. Foundation people are the souls who hold the line. They are the ones who say, "The world may be shaking, but I am not moving." They don't offer empty thoughts and prayers from a distance. They provide the structural integrity that allows you to breathe when the dust settles. They love the cracks in your soul because they understand that those cracks are where the light gets in. And, more importantly, those cracks are where they can bond even closer to you. Loving the cracks. There is a unique kind of love that only a foundation person can provide. The love of the unseen. Most people in your life love your siding, the way you present yourself to the world. But foundation people love your rebar, the steel and sweat that makes up your character. They are the only ones who know the secrets of your basement. They have seen your failures, your addictions, your deepest insecurities, and your darkest nights. And yet, they stayed. To a foundation person, your cracks aren't defects. They are history. They are the proof that you have survived. While others are busy judging the damage to your exterior, the foundation is busy reinforcing your interior. They are there to ensure that even if you have to rebuild every single room in your house, you will always have a solid place to start. Protecting the bedrock. The greatest tragedy in the architecture of the soul is how we treat our foundation, because they are silent, because they are reliable, and because they don't demand attention. We often take them for granted. We spend our best energy trying to impress the rain strangers, and our best money trying to buy more decor. We forget to water our roots. We forget to thank our pillars. We assume the foundation will always be there. But even the strongest bedrock needs to be respected. The master key to a happy life is not finding more guests. It is recognizing your foundation. It might be a parent who never stopped believing in you, a spouse who has seen you at your absolute worst, or a friend who has been your emergency contact for 20 years. These people are the invaluable ones. The final lesson. As you move through life, remember this. A house is not a home because of the furniture. A house is not a home because of the people who visit when the weather is nice. A house becomes a home only because of the people who refuse to leave when the ground starts to move. If you are blessed enough to have even one foundation person in your life, you are wealthier than any king. Do not lose your pillars while you are busy chasing leaves. Recognize them, honor them, and most importantly, strive to be the foundation for someone else. In a world of rain strangers and decor, be the silent, deep, and unbreakable ground that allows someone else to stand tall in the storm. Because in the end, leaves fall and branches break, but the foundation holds the world together.